and welcome to another episode of The Eternal Journey. I am Resolves, and this is Bloodscent Tempo. So we took a spin with this deck a few days ago for the snapshot of the new promo card, but I had such a blast that I just wanted to give it a full length video. We've had a couple of positive comments in the Eternal Warcry list for this deck, so I just want to post this to give people a bit more information, see if they want to decide about crafting the Midnight Gales and the Rindras. So if we're looking at the actual deck list, we get to play Permafrost, which is often one of the most busted cards in the Skycrag beatdown deck, as just it allows you to push through damage and start winning races by just neutralising the biggest attacker and block that your opponent's got. Permafrost does have some slight synergy in the deck, as it does give Miris Nightshade a boost, as it considers an enemy to be cursed, so she does get the +1/+1. Also, a sort of side upgrade here with the Black Sky Harbinger, because it leaves an additional unit in play for the summon effect to deal extra damage to. So a little bit of extra value there, get to gain a little bit more life. It is a little bit of a number with this guy over here, the Argenport Instigator, as it doesn't kill him. But there's just enough value to be had with this, just in the regular trades through combat and, you know, the nice suite of removal we've got already, like the cheap Suffocate and just getting in there with the rapid shot and that sort of stuff, just winning through combat. So speaking of the rapid shot, I recently added that as like an extra way, as just getting through Sandstorm Titans and Tavrods, and I've got to say I've been impressed. What the rapid shot also does is it allows you another way to just gain a bunch of life with the Rindra, and also it works well with the Overwhelm, means you still get that damage free, so you're not just like sort of wasting the spell. And you've got the Black Sky Harbinger for a little bit more life still there. That's a little bit more ambitious, because it's not really attacking until turn 7, but you know, take every little edge I can. So the idea of the deck is really to just play at least one spell a turn. So you're going to be playing either at least a huge unit like one of these 5-power girls, or you just want to be playing perhaps a smaller unit and a disruptive spell, or if you've already got stuff in play, just play a couple of disruptive spells so you can get in there, you know, remove any sort of removal your opponent has with your Sabotage, and perhaps you get to disrupt their blockers as well with the Suffocates and the Permafrosts, and they just sort of want to smash in there and until you're able to sort of overwhelm the board and just get ahead of your opponent through the chip shots of Nightfall damage, and perhaps even an activation or two of the Nyxophobia from Miris Nightshade. And what Miris Nightshade does is she turns Nightfall, instead of being just the 1 damage that your opponent takes, your opponent's going to take 2, which sort of balances it a little more in your favour. Whereas we do have ways to take advantage of the Nightfall happening. It is pretty much an equal effect, all things considered. So it does help the Rindra keep a hold of the lifesteal and the Overwhelm, so you're never really falling behind on life totals, and if this is getting chump blocked, you're still managing to get damage through, and your opponent's losing cards in that exchange, and that's when you actually become ahead. So we don't actually become very wide as a deck here. A lot of our units are quite expensive and quite chunky, so we don't get extreme value of the Champion of Cunning like would say we're playing like a scouting party or something like this. But because we've got so much evasion in the deck with all these flyers and, you know, the odd trampler, well, overwhelmer, we do get to turn these buffs from the Champion of Cunning shadow side into actual damage, and it doesn't just get chumped and just absorbed or anything like this. You're actually just getting the damage through, and that's a really great way. It's a really great place to be. And I think, as much as I'm gushing over this deck, I think it's time just to get on some games. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so the Crest, as good as it is, doesn't really bring this together. I'll take a friend. Okay, I like this hand. It's got interaction. We've definitely got the 4 power we need. And also we get Rindra, who is a tasty meatball. Our opponent's scouting here, or they just, yep. So, I think this is perhaps an instance where we can afford just to snap off the Sabotage. Yep, because we get to take theirs. And that's pretty much why I wanted to do it. I'm pretty confident thinking that we're probably against Feln control with the Sabotage. Okay. The mirror? Maybe. We've got a bunch of 5/5s to block whatever their big nonsense is, so we'll just permafrost this just so that we're not sat here just taking 6 to 9 damage before we get to do anything. That's a good time just to fire for another sabotage. Yep. And now we'll just guarantee that we get to hit a Rindra next turn. I'm going to have to break up the videos today. So a couple of games here and a couple of games later on tonight. So that's probably why you'll notice a huge difference in times. And oh yes, nice Miris Nightshade. So let's go play Rindras here. Happy to just do a block here. Just want to keep the board clear. As nice as it would be just to keep an actual board for when we've got this champion of Cunning. We are still 2 shadow sources away from that. So I'd rather just keep the board clear and hopefully set up a turn where we're able to just get the Miris Nightshade out there. Hoping our opponent hasn't adopted the new rapid shot technology, and it looks like they've not. Okay, so we've got the Deathstrike now, so I'm feeling good. Sadly, we don't have the 5 Primal Influence that I'd really like, and I'm not sure how I feel about playing the Nightshade and the Gale, but that's probably quite good because they basically have to deal with this Nightshade. Otherwise, this can just deal like 10 damage for the rest of the game because we're both pretty good at just establishing and just keeping the Nightfall in play. Okay, well, they've gone for playing the champion, and that's good, and I've got a choice. I think I'm just going to attack first. If opponent blocks, I'll play the rapid shot and then double up with the Nightshade. But as they've not, I think it's just a straight Deathstrike here. If we draw a power now, we'll be able to ultimate this and play a rapid shot if we need to, or we can just play another Miris and the Rindra, just keep the power up. So yep, they need to annihilate that now. Well, I'll get to attack. And our opponent really can't block here. Okay, well, they do. This is where these rapid shots are great. Just a touch of poison. So next turn we're just going to ultimate this, and then we'll have 8 power here, and they'll be able to do another 12 damage just from Nightfall. Okay, now looks like they're going to be returning the champion, which is good because they're going to have an 8/6. So we have to win pretty quickly here. I think rather than just being greedy, I should probably just get this into play. Because our opponent's quite a way away from having an actual flying one, and I think that's what we'll do. They still get to gain a bunch of life here, which is a problem. So this is where we actually have some thought in, and I think it's right just to put more stuff in play. We're going to very easily be able to sort of overpower their lifesteal here, because we're going to have 9 in the air, and then I think next turn's a good turn if we don't draw a shadow. So we'll just be able to ultimate this. And just, yep, that was enough. Okay, and I like this hand. Love the new Suffocate. This could be very good. It's been excellent if that was just like time sigil and then like an initiate. Okay, what? It's not worth Vara's favour because it's just some random body. I'll just get the Instigator down just because this is slightly better to play early. And right now, I'm actually more than happy just to suffocate this, because we probably don't have many good targets for this. And then we can get in. The triple block would have actually been pretty good for us. But I'm quite happy just to keep applying pressure. And get rid of that power. Hopefully this isn't a Titan, because that's a bit of a problem for us. As we don't have any of the Annihilates or Rapid Shots to be able to deal with that. My opponent's spending their turn to make an obelisk, that's also fine. I think that right now, I don't really want to trade the Nightshade off just because we're going to get pretty close to being able to use it. Our opponent just double blocks it, we're able to Vara's Favour off the second copy. And they're thinking about it. If they just let this through or just single block for whatever reason, yep, this is fine. So now we get to kill this off. Have an uncontested board and we get to scout. And Sabotage, they've already played out one of the more troublesome relics that they could have. And perhaps they've got a instinct, but we can deal with that probably quick enough. So let's get rid of the Sabotage. Just want to draw something like a champion would be good right now. And they've got the Tyrant, so just going to ultimate this. Just really need to find a Rapid Shot or a Annihilate would be great here. Stupid Sandstorm. I've got Permafrost, which isn't exactly what we're looking for. So let's have a scout. And we're not looking for an Instigator either. So, do we want to save this for some damage later on? Well, can't play anyway. I think we do. Just keep Knight established, threaten a pretty rough double block here. Silly Sandstorm Titan, Endurance. I mean, maybe a change for the way that Permafrost works. Wow, they've got the double. Yeah, this is fine. So we can take 15 here, which is a bit of a problem. I think we're just going to... Yeah, just trying to use... Get this Instigator out here. Up against Mono Time, which is potentially quite a good deck actually. We've got the other, the other Permafrost, so we're in trouble. Take this Ancient Lot. Triple Permafrost against Sandstorm Titan is not excellent. And that'll likely do it. Yep, call it a day. Okay, so a classic Feln control hand, but that's a straight redraw. It's powerful, but we just want to be doing stuff early. And right here I like this because we get to go Instigator into hopefully the Avisaur. Or I guess Ricano, so hopefully these Permafrosts are live, even if it's just like a temporary solution. Let's play the Sigil out first. If we draw, you know, a couple more lands, we get to hopefully turn this into a spell. I've got Crown Watch Pally. Just gonna slam in here. My opponent wants to use a Finest Hour there, that's cool by me. I think right now I do actually just want to get the threat down. So just establish the Avisaur, get the Nightfall going. Next turn we'll Crest into the Midnight Gale. So how big's this? This is a 3-2. So we've got a pretty clean answer. Well, it's not a very clean answer for the Unseen Commando, but this can't block the Unseen Commando either. So I think we block here. One doesn't have a Finest Hour. We both take a damage, that's fine. Now we get to suffocate this, which is sweet. Sadly, we don't get to play the Midnight Gale, but we do get to probably bottom this Vara's favour. Yeah, we've got plenty of stuff going on. Let's keep chucking in for damage. Because our opponent is likely to have plate in the deck. The Permafrost isn't a permanent solution to a lot of threats. But it's a cheap answer, and it does a good job at dealing with protects because you can just keep doing it. It costs 1. You can fight through protects pretty easily. So, our guy gets... Oh, okay. Our guy gets dealt with a Vanquish. Just going to keep establishing the Nightfall and hopefully get there with this. We're like a Shadow just so we can start getting the power boost. Puts both our units in... Okay. We're going to gain a bunch of life there, go to 18. We're not blocking. This is just going to get Permafrosted. I'd like to establish the Rindra, but we're just going to attack for 6. I don't see many 1 toughness units in our opponent's deck happening, so we'll just get this down because then we guarantee the power boost off the Champion of Cunning.
Trust in your skills.
Yep. And Alex turns likely to just from the concession as we get to Permafrost this. Yep, get in. Didn't even need to show the champion. This sound is interesting. We can sort of scout for a 2-drop, but we've also got really good air pressure. Not much in the way of disruption, but I'm happy to keep this as we've got a good line of influence. Let's see if our opponent decides to keep. They do. So we'll scout. And Sabotage is perhaps exactly what we're looking for, just to take out any vanquishes that our opponent may have. I think just keeping the Sabotage and just using it is better than just fishing for a 2-drop. Let's go fishing. So Caleb, Silver, Onyx, Katana, and Jawbone Hatchet. This isn't spicy meatball. Hatchet can become a 3/3, but they have to deal damage to us first, which is not really happening on their turn, perhaps because the Nightfall happens on ours. But maybe we'll just stop them from going any deeper with the Onyx Katana. Just stop them from racing us. I mean, they are going to see enough cards with the Avisaur. Yep. Right now, I'm just going to play the Bloodscent. If they attack, we'll block. That's more than fine. Yep. So kind of a trick, but overall we'll just take 1. And they get to play their 3/3. We're just going to completely blanket with our Impending Doom. And if they are playing Permafrost with their relic weapon, right? Yep, that's fine. They still have to chuck through this. I've got a Black Sky Harbinger, which is going to do some work. I can combine this with a torch or something like this, a rock slide maybe, but they still lose the weapon. And yeah, 5/1's not notoriously good against the Vara's favour deck. Probably just going to spend next turn getting down a double touch of poison, especially if we draw a power, because that means we're able to go running Nyctophobias. Just really get the beats down. Let's get rid of that. And I think maybe we'll just keep one of these back to sort of guarantee that we're able to play the Harbinger if we need to. It was probably correct more to just slam it onto the... Let's pop this Aegis, but I don't think that's going to be a concern of ours. I think we're just going to ignore this. It's not getting any war cries or anything, it's going to deal damage, that's fine. We're able to pop it anyway if we do have a removal spell. Because I think right now we're just going to keep advancing our board. Let's put our opponent into a position where they just have to block this, and that's fine. Yep, they attack. They're doing another Spark Hammer. This is sort of going to suck. Okay, well, just attack here. Or gets the decision here. Do they want to block? They do. I'm still reasonably happy. The next focus, I don't really want Nightfall in this matchup, perhaps. Just sort of a nice bonus that we get to do some real work with it. Just establish the 4-5 lifesteal, gain a life, which sort of pays for this. Then next turn we just start to get going 9 in the air. We draw a power, we will just Nyctophobia. Okay. So I think this is worth a block. Because as we've already seen, our opponent's got weapons in the deck. We don't want them just to have, let this get out of hand completely. So let's chunk in the air for nice 5 there. Let's have a scout here. Suffocate is probably good if we need it. So this Nightshade last, and just a touch of poison. Both unseen. So perhaps this deck could actually play. We have a good number of us unseen in the deck. 1 or 2 of the tribal land. I was thinking about one of the Diplo seals actually, but we do, because we have so many duels, we get up to the threshold quite quickly for that not to be very good. Yep, this will do it. So Permafrost there, Suffocate there. Wants concession. Okay, easy redraw. I'm hoping the audio sounds a bit better on this version. This weekend's video was not great. The weather was just really warm for some reason, so I had to have the windows open, which meant that my mic decided to correct for this. Get the film banner down. My mic corrected for this by just making the volume really quiet just to cancel it out. Some sort of spicy meatball going on over here. I suspect it's not a... It's going to play the threat down. If they kill this, whatever. It's unlikely these colours are just going to snap this off. Some sort of Chalice deck, maybe? Maybe Temporal. But we can perhaps just get to a position where we can just Nyctophobia. Right, this is fine. This is perhaps a place where we want these silences to happen. Like right now we can... Let's chuck him for some damage. No double block, that's fine. I'm just going to kill a Kofan. Yep, so Sabotage, take that harsh rule. Play another dinosaur. The dream would be just drawing another Bloodscent. Just push these both up to 4-3s. No, our opponent's not getting vanquishes, so we'll just get to keep trucking. Yep, keep silencing my girls, that's fine. Just gonna get in there. Should probably have just annihilated this first, because that's a pretty easy block for them to make. But that's also fine, keeps the air pretty free. Play the Impending Doom. Let's get a Waystone down.
Think you can escape me?
Yeah, this is fine. Okay, we've got a better Annihilate target. Just this brick wall over here. We'll get rid of that. Okay, we're doing another one, which is nice. Okay, let's think. Of course, it's 6 power next turn, so we're just going to kill this. Don't really want to have to just keep dealing with that. I probably just get some double block here, but if they do, they take 5. And we're just going to keep establishing the Nightfall, just keep chipping away. This also tells me that they've not got a harsh wheel in hand at this moment in time, because otherwise they just single block. Okay, they've got a blocker for a time. Keep going, Hammer. They're going to start getting to use the Seraph, which is pretty bad for us. Playing the power out, just if you do draw next, I just want to play her in a little bit. We could do that anyway, but probably just have it going on. So this is a single coloured unit, so if they don't have a protect, they are dead this turn. Yep, and I'll do it. Okay, so I do like this hand. It's got a little bit of interaction, got some huge threats. I think we're going to play the Crest on turn 3, because I just want to Sabotage, just remove any torches, just get the Instigator down. We're on the play. So, our opponent's called Goblin Driver, so I'm going to expect some amount of torches here. Also, nice, we hit 100 Masters with this pile. Admittedly, it is like day 5, so that's not a great achievement. But usually I get into Masters pretty quickly and then just tank it all the way down to whatever the max number is. Oops. Just by playing garbage decks. Okay, playing against Skycrag. Let's get that Rock Slide out of here. It's unlikely to be good against us. Yep. Classic name deck combination here. Goblin Drive with only Ronins. Basically the Goblin Greed of our format here. Okay, slam. Can't stay here forever, just gonna get aggressive. Don't really care about taking 2 in a Warcry. Bottom this power. Okay, so we're just gonna go 5-5 into 5-5 into dead. Yep, that's fine. This here is gonna get pretty blank next turn. Oh yeah. A Midnight Gale as well. Let's go chuck in for some damage. My opponent's only really got a Permafrost and they've got like a 2-turn window to draw it. Sensari Brigand. Wow, that's deep. Okay. Well, just going to chuck in for 5. Oh, champion. Just have a 2-turn clock in the air here. We're just able to deploy threats to just blockers, just to survive. Just hope this does the job in the next 2 turns. Rats. Is this sitting back? Nope. Okay, well. Just chuck in there for 7. Play another Impending Doom. We do take 2 for this, so it's slightly worse than playing a Midnight Gale, but the Midnight Gale could just get torched out. And I really just want to block here. Okay. Caleb's favour, that's scary. Okay, so do we die here? That's what we need to concern ourselves with. So they attack with everyone. Now we need to think, going right into the clock. They've got 1 power left, could be a torch. If it was, I'm pretty sure they would have snapped it off. So we just snap this off here, this off here, this off here. So it's the same. We take 2, we take 6. And if this is a burn spell, we die. Do we lose any of our units? We lose 1, so that's an additional point. I'm not thinking about it. Whoops, did we let the 3-3 through? No, we didn't. Rats, we died to the Instigator triggers. I could have just played around it and just didn't. Well, let that be a lesson to me. And just like that, we're back out of 100 Masters. It's my own fault. I'm pretty sure that I could have won that game if I just blocked properly and remembered that 2 of my units were going to die. But such is life. It's very possible we just couldn't have actually won. And I was getting too aggressive with the Impending Dooms. Okay, so what we've got here, we've got a bunch of interaction and an Impending Doom. I think this is probably just a keep. But this could just be like the worst hand ever if we just hit the wrong matchup. We're just going to discard spell. Okay, Crest of Chaos, so the Vara's Favour is probably live. And so's the Sabotage, so we got there. Let's find out. Yeah, so we're against Grenadines. Grenadines probably pretty good against us because they've got Madness. Although we do have a bunch of flying... Instantly snapping off the quarry. Rats. I think we can wait on the Vara's Favour. It's got more than enough power. We'll just use it later just to power up this girl over here. Plan is just to Sabotage. Wow, okay. That's spicy. Let's take this quarry. Play a power and pass. I'd forgotten that the Grenade Index has started playing this, and on turn 3 that's a scary threat. Fortunately we've got a deck full of Annihilates, and hopefully this doesn't just kill us before then. Opponent is at the kind of Permafrost as well, which isn't an excellent answer. We might just block here just to stop this like cheapening effect from happening. So lucky. Well, this deck's sweet. I just don't think it's playable right now. Because how's this ever beat Argenport? Used to be like the older styles of Argenport, like it just absolutely smash them. Now I'm just not sure that's the case. Let's just get a Rindra down here. Regain some life. Hopefully draws into enough power to make this champion good. Okay, well, Permafrost is good here, although it's typically not very good against this deck. Okay, so play the Scout. We're going to Permafrost here. Gonna Favour here, just to make sure we've got the full sweep. Don't really care if they block here. Double blocking was fine, they could have had a torch to kill me, but this way just means that that isn't an out they can have. And it also means that we've got enough power to get the correct influence for this. Okay, so Bloodscent Avisaur, just another flying girl. We're able to slot it in after we do like a Vara's Favour turn. But next turn, we're just slamming this champion because we get the Aegis, then the turn after we get the cool power-up ability. The reason Permafrost isn't very good against the Grenadines deck, Permafrost is good against this, is... Okay, aggressive. Chuck in here. Don't want to put everything in front, that's fine. Is because they do have Devour effects, although they do have some exhaust abilities, like the Gale Cruncher here. That's good. They can pop this Aegis by doing an activation and then like a combust or whatever, but I'm willing to just take that. Next turn I'm just going to mow down one of the Grenadines just to keep this in order and just play the Bloodscent. Okay. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we've got enough to kill it. But is their entire turn. Perhaps they don't want to attack with these. But we are just going to re-establish the Nightfall and just get in for 5. Okay, even better. Get our Trample on, gain a little bit of life. Nice buffer here. The old Madness Combust is pretty good against us right here, but I'm happy just to keep pushing for damage. We can't just sit here and let them overwhelm us because they will grind us out. And this gets to kill a finger turn. So we just can't sit here forever. And if they do make like 3 blocks and a torch, 2 blocks and a torch, playing this removal spell. Okay, they're just fishing for information now before they make any blocks. Not go. Let's chip in with the Impending dude. And then we've got a lot of power here. Opponent can kill this, or they can play another Grenadine. They probably want to kill this over the Rindra, though Rindra does have Overwhelm. And they can block with nonsense like this Scrap Tank. But the good thing about this Gale Cruncher is it is tying up their power quite a lot. We'd like this Nightfall here just to rip us some sort of another Nightfall or just a way to deal with this. And just chuck in here for damage. They can put everything in front of this to kill it and just have a huge Gale here. That's fine. They're actually just doing that. We're just going to gain 5. The Scrap Titant's going to get plus 10, but this is going to be pretty useless. And we're just going to have a big girl. This is going to be one of those great turns where if we just had something like a... Could have actually played around it a little bit more by having the Vara's Favour, but then it just gives them an easy 5/5 block and they still get to keep this good. I think we're just going to keep this Vara's Favour. Don't really want 8 power right now. We've got 2 pretty scary threats in the air now. If the attack came, just not block him. Okay, so we've got enough bodies now to use the Gear Cruncher, but it is taxing up the mana quite a lot. Okay, so we take 13, but we get to 5 in the air, and if we draw any Nightfall, we win on the spot. Now we've just got a Permafrost, which is pretty much just as good. So we'll get to Permafrost this. Play Midnight Gale, and we've still got a lethal Nightfall if we draw it. 2 lethal flyers in the air, and our opponent can kill one of them. But they need to also have removal spell in hand. Yep, let's go for the big one. Perhaps we've got a torch. Second Gear Cruncher, but no power to activate it. Oh, nice. And that'll do it. Okay, I do like this hand. It's a little bit slow. Probably going to use the Scout Land just to find a power, and then we're going to play the Miris Nightshade into like Sabotage. If we really need to, I suppose we just have to like Vara's Favour and just have a slow hand. But it's got loads of answers to Sandstorm Titans and stuff like that. Sandstorm Titans is usually quite a problem. You never find the Annihilates. I'll keep this. Also, luck skill victory, got there. Back in top 100. So, just going to keep a underplated power. And that's not, but it is a dual influence, so we're going to keep it. Next turn we'll just get to Sabotage, play the Crest. And we're against Skycrag again. So let's see what we got. Wow, okay, we're playing a red deck. Caleb's Choice, not doing anything too exciting. Because I assume that deck's not full of Annihilate targets anyway. So if the counter one, it's like, okay. Really want to take the Wisdom, but it's probably just going to be the harsh rule because we really do play at the board. Now the 1-for-1 answers, like, whatever. Good, but it's not great. Let's not have a third Annihilate against this Primal Carrier deck. I don't feel really favoured in this sort of matchup. I think we're just going to play the Nightshade this turn. Next turn we're just going to attack, like see if we've got any answers, take it then. And then just play the Vara's Favour. Okay, we don't need to play the Vara's Favour yet. Sabotage, see what they got. They're working with over here. It's the Wisdom of the Elders. They can snap it off, just give us more options. I'll probably take that. Continue. Yes, I would like to annihilate one of my own guys. Okay, so they've got Lightning Storm, so that's a nice cheap answer to this, what we've got going on. So I think we'll take that. Just make them use the 5 power. Attack here for free. We've not got much of a clock really. But I'm just going to keep this going. Next turn, we're just going to ultimate her. Just to get some real pressure down. And if we draw any... There's a good reason here. Just for... What's this? Is it Protect? Okay. Good reason here, because they could have Island's Choice, is just to attack for the free first, knowing we'd get through. And they like that. And they're going to draw it. Is it a Torch? Yeah, there's a good reason just to attack as a free, just because it's like more guaranteed damage if they've got like an Island's. Well, enemy attachment. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I knew about that, but I didn't even really think about that as like an interaction. But we still caused a Nightfall, so hopefully we're going to draw out this. But if our opponent establishes much more of a lock, especially now they've just drawn the Swindle, okay, there's a chance here. So we know that they've got a harsh rule in hand. This will be their entire turn. So I'm just going to play the Champion of Cunning, just because it boosts our team up, sort of forces them to use it, and then we've still got a 7/5 to attack them with. And then we can play an Impending Doom, and just have a 9/5 and a 7/5. No Aegis, but they'll have used 2 of their main ways of removing it. So this turn's basically play power, play harsh rule. There's not really much to think about here. Yep. So they're just losing half the life total here. Okay, well, in that case, we've drawn an Instigator. So if they do have like another Wrath, I'm just going to keep this. If they don't, we're just still able to lethal. Yep, so they've got the Vanquish. Where's it going? Over there. That's fine. I will just be remembering what my opponent's got in hand. Just savagely forgetting. The next Phobia, if it was still in play, would be really good here. Just going to try and just keep finding Nightfalls. Don't want to play this out in case the... Also, if we play a Throne Warden, we're just able to win just off the Instigator trigger. So they're channeling our threat. Okay, that's fine. So, we'll play a Doom down now. But we can only play 1 a turn, that's all we're just going to do. Just going to make them answer them 1 by 1. And hopefully we find a Nightfall trigger or a Vara's Favour before they find... Oh, okay, this is interesting. Hopefully, maybe that's some sort of carpet shuffle deck. Hopefully we find the Nightfall trigger before they find a weapon, but... Rats. They've got one. Yeah, we fight with courage, I know that. Play everything out. There's always not to, we do have Nightfall in the deck. We're doing quite a lot of Nightfall now. Miris would still be good. Because Miris would still be just straight up 2 damage. And hopefully be a good way of finding another Nightfall, just to finish off the last point. We don't find it. So, going to give it another couple of turns and I'll probably call it a day. I think we perhaps could have played better. Most about just remembering what's in our opponent's hand. I could really do with like a revealed card zone. Because whilst I'm recording, I've just not got the time to be writing down. Because I don't want to just be taking time down, just scribbling down notes. But perhaps that's a way we can improve in the future. Perhaps we could do some strategizes in this deck. Especially because I can imagine, like in this sort of matchup. Okay, this game's slowly coming out of our reach. We do actually need a champion straight off the top here. A good Nightfall, so that's going to go some way. Yeah, but we could really do with some sort of strategizers in here, because I can imagine right now if our top deck is like Rapid Shot Annihilate, then we're just dead, and Channel does it for us. Okay, easy redraw there. Oh, this is not quite what we're looking for. We do have a lot of scouting here, so... I don't have much high hopes for this deck. Well, this hand. Well, we've got a threat at least. So now we just need to find like a cheap interaction. Banner can get lost. We've got more than enough influence just to make any champions that occur really easy to activate. Pretty much like one off either side. And in a mono red matchup, either side is good. Okay, so we'll get Skyquake here. Let's fire for the Sabotage or do the Permafrost. Permafrost is probably better on, say, like a champion. So because we can just annihilate this next turn and or just like Permafrost any bad guys. Okay, double Permafrost, let's keep that. Just going to keep removing and being interactive until we get to play this. Permafrost, however, though it's not a combo with the Argenport Instigator, is a pretty sick one with the Black Tie Harbinger because it keeps things in play, which means that you get to do a little bit more of the healing salve here with the summon effect. Yep, no more. I believe they can Caleb's Choice to get rid of the Permafrost. That's more than fine. Let's have a Crest of Cunning down. Let's not have another power here. If we do draw a power, just like to really draw like a undepleted one. So snap off this here, this here. We don't get full Annihilate equity, but we just didn't really have the power, and I just don't want to take infinite damage here. Though if they did like put this Warcry on something that's like multi-faction, like a Champion of Fury or Caleb, that's a bit of a problem. Just play this. It blocks / blanks the 2/1 and is not blocking this. Okay, that's fine. Permafrosted our guy. Hopefully we get to get some value off this. Let's play a 5/5. We'll block whatever. I've also had a couple of turns to like block a torch. I think if they had a torch, they would perhaps put it here. Soulfire Drakey. Do we take 6 and go to 6? I think we can't really do that. Yeah, I don't think we could have just taken the 6 out. As nice it would be just to annihilate the Drake. Just need 1 turn, no whammies, please. Okay, so we're just going to hold everything back here. If we draw an undepleted power, we do get to play the Harbinger, and then the turn after we can like annihilate this and Deathstrike this or whatever, and it not be an issue. So we're under a little bit of a clock here. Let's just fast spell this away. Start racing. But now I'm taking 3 a turn because we've got the Impending Doom's Ping, which is another reason why we kind of sit down and do nothing. We've also got this 2. Our opponent can just play a load of haste threats here because they do have a lot in the deck. We've also got Mortar, so we've got some real reach. But we really just want to sort of... Oh yeah. So this off the top. It was probably a good job that we started to attack because this could have just taken us out of the game anyway. Okay, our opponent's thinking here, do they have something to play? It's one of these in hand, they probably just want to keep it just for the next turn maybe. Because they're getting pretty close to this Harbinger range. Okay, well it's just a Midnight Gale, which isn't perfect. Let's just chuck in here. If they double block, we're just going to annihilate this. We're going to annihilate this anyway, but I'd rather give them the fort here where they could think that double blocking is a good idea. Probably it's not. Going to get in a nice damage here. And establish the Midnight Gale. Which means that if we don't die like in this turn, we're in pretty good shape to be able to take over the game with this lifesteal. But we've also got the outs of a... Wowee. Yeah, so we need to hit the undepleted power right away. So maybe it was a mistake to be dropping all those other undepleted. And we dead off the Instigator again because I forgot. Okay, as nice as it looks, it's a 1 power hand, so it has to be redraw. Well, we'll just play the... Like, regardless of what we care about on top of our deck, we'll just play the Crest here because the Sea of Cunning can be undepleted. I do like this hand because it's got enough influence just to... As much as I love the Champion of Cunning, just can't keep that. We do have the double influence, so we're able to just go Instigator into Midnight Gale. We can't do that, so it looks like a Sabotage. And Roland's Favour, Rise to the Challenge, or Sword of Vakari. I'll just take the cheap interaction and just leave them with some sort of nonsense. Like, if they just have to use the Roland's Favour, we can just fight through it before they get to put on a weapon. It's been a while since I've seen a Armory deck that plays this. So maybe this is like an old list, like a lapsed player or something. Just gonna take this. I think we'll let our opponent rise to the challenge and then we'll Sabotage. So if they want to spend their entire next turn doing that, that's fine. Although, sadly we could get ourselves in a position where we're not able, if we don't draw an undepleted power, we're not able to Midnight Gale and Sabotage. So now they get to Rise, which is more than fine. I can appreciate why they feel that they need to. Because they probably just want to get a Rune Hammer and just like start clearing up. Use this guy as a blocker or whatever. and then they can just kill our second threat. But it's not going to happen here. So even better, we get Sabotage. Take their 7-2. Nice. We do have a Smuggler Stash, but we're just not going to give him time. Just a touch of poison over here. Our opponent's hopefully going to just like slay the Instigator and leave us with this in play, because I really like how Miris Nightshade is able to just pressure relic weapons with this Nightshade ability. It's so expensive, but it's really worth it. I would have sort of liked this ability being... Yep, okay, you got it. I'm just going to Permafrost and Annihilate this. Sabotage is nice. Just going to Permafrost and Annihilate this just because it gets an extra point damage through. Sadly, they do get to block the Nightshade. Well, that's fine. They do get to slay us on like an empty board that way. So perhaps the attack there was actually bad, because now they get to slay this, and we don't really have much of like a follow-up. We might have spend this turn Smuggler stashing, which is still fine. Okay, just making the Sword of a carrier. Still got a slay in hand. That's so aggressive. Well, in this case, like, just hope we just draw out Unbleed Power and just able to really punish them. And we are. So, Sabotage the stash. Play the Midnight Gale. The Midnight Gale trades 1-for-1 for this, but then we get to play the Rindra. Sadly, our opponent gets first crack at the draw. This isn't excellent. Okay, so I'm gonna go on mute here. Okay, got Annihilate, which isn't perfect. Let's just smash in for 5. Post in the tank here, just having a little think about what they're going to do. Go play this Nightfall, just keep it going. I've always got like a lot more power and a lot more powerful threats in their deck. So they're going to make the most, or they're going to make a lot more of this than we are. So they've got something to think about here. So maybe they've got like a torch here or something. And we're just going to lose our guy here, but still get a bunch of damage in. Yep, so this is a torch here. But then our opponent's left with nothing, and we're just going to follow up with this 4-5. And that'll do quite some work. Yeah, the old rapid shot with the Black Sky Harbinger. That's quite the deck we built here. I just like really enjoy this deck. It's like every single win just feels so scrappy and just like so close to just being like not happening. Is this one of your units? Let's give a unit. Oh, excellent. So we've got a way of like killing in the carrier as well. So I'm excited about that. Die show! Ah, so close. And yeah, that'll do it. We've got like one draw step exactly. Look, I think that this like a Primal carry deck is. Oh, you're not getting me for free. I mean, like the correct plays there is just to like leave up the rapid shot, but I'm just so off it. We deal the 2 damage and we still lose the guy, but we get to. I felt like this was the correct play because we still get to do it. But we had the slay anyway, so we die anyway. It was a good game. Oh, there we have it. I have a blast literally every game with this deck. Whether I win or lose, I just think it's really got some potential. And though it hasn't really had the time to be worked on yet to be there, I think it's just, it could be. It could be one of the better ladder decks. And of course, there were some meme moments where I just over-raced or just forgot about my own Instigator triggers, but the deck is scrappy and it has to fight for every single victory, and that's just a spot I enjoy being in. I just feel really passionate about this sort of deck. And another thing I like right now is against Argenport. I feel like we're really strong against Auric Runehammer, as we've just got like a bunch of 5/5 girls who can just sort of blanket on one end, and we've also just got a bunch of free Nightfall triggers, like even the power base here with the Amethyst Waystone. So we're just able to chip shot the rune hammers away for free. I found through the games that we actually have open power a lot more than I thought we would, so I think we could potentially stick some unseals or backlash into this, just to have another way of dealing with expensive spells and just having a little bit of extra value and being able to react a little bit better to the extra cards our opponents are going to be drawing from the Nightfall triggers. On this like sort of counterplay angle, we could also experiment with some Island's Intervention, which, as narrow as it is, it can shoot down opposing flyers, as well as countering Slays, Banishes, and Island's Choice. As of course, the Island's Intervention has 3 modes, of which 2 relevant is that one deals 3 damage to a flyer, the second one counters any spell that has a converted cost equal to 3, and the third option, which doesn't do much for us, is any Yetis you control gain 3 health for the turn. Yetis not really well seen in the Feln forests. I actually wouldn't mind adding a few copies of Devastating Setback too, as it should shore up the beatdown matchups, as well as giving us more interaction for picking out the exact cards that matter when we just want to push forward for damage and just get any Island's Choices, Lightning Strikes, anything like that. Just get the nonsense out of the way, leave them with whatever gubbins, doesn't matter. If we've got 5/5s in play, leave them with Torches and Sword of Icarias. If we've got 3/3s in play, leave them with the Vanquishes. And I think that would really play into the Sabotage, as well as just being a little bit more versatile, as it can just, if we're in some sort of board style, we're just able to sort of remove all the little guys and then just sort of, our big guys, they're still big, they're still getting there for damage. And on this sort of pushing damage, I considered also just perhaps try and crystallize, as it's just a way of crushing board stalls. In a lot of the matchups where we do have these stalls, the 1 damage from the crystallize is often enough just to clear away some of the opponent's units as well, and it just lets us win the races out of nowhere. So I really like it when one of these promos revitalizes an old archetype, and I'd really like it if we could get perhaps 1 a month in the future, just because of the potential these updates have just to shake up the ladder. So thanks for watching. I've been That Resolves, and this was Bloodscent Tempo.